People in Tamriel consider Aetherius to be a cosmological or transcendental plane of existence, an immortal plane or heaven. It is also thought to be the origin of all magic and arcane arts. The ancient Ayleids believed that Nirn was composed of 4 basic elements: earth, water, air, and light. And of these 4 elements, they believed the most sublime form of light was starlight. The stars are considered to be the link to the plane of Aetherius. Aetherius is also the ancestral seat of the 9 divines and the other original spirits. Its energy infuses the daily existence, from highest to lowest, and gives all races of men, mer, and beast a common purpose. Its magic brings the rain to the fields, love to our hearths, and scientific principles to our technological industries. It gives us the very sun itself. Finally, Aetherius is the home to the Aedra, those cornerstones of the Mundus whose aspects we see in the temple, in lordship, and the high walk of heroes. It is a common belief that the soul of a dead person goes to Aetherius, to continue on as a spirit. For Nords, their chosen place after death in Aetherius is Sovngarde, the Hall of Valor. The Red Guards have a different place in Aetherius, called the Far Shores, as do the Khajiit, a realm known as the sands behind the stars. Ultimately, it is the mortals themselves who decide the destinations of their souls by the choices they make during life. For instance, in 2E 582, King Emeric of Wayrest was killed in the Chamber of Passage in the Hall of Heroes. His soul was drawn through a nearby passage to the Far Shores, despite his being a Breton. Sometimes a piece of Aetherius becomes dislodged and falls to Nirn. These are commonly observed by the people of Tamriel as shooting stars. These otherworldly materials are known for their magical power, and have often been utilized to great effect by those who manage to recover these fragments. The Ayleids, the elves that ruled Cyrodiil until the early First Era, made extensive use of these sky stones. With their advanced understanding of the magical arts, they created blue Welkind and Varla stones to harness the power of starlight from Aetherius and store magicka, power enchanted items, or provide unending light. Magically talented individuals can draw the power from Welkind stones to restore their own magicka. Varla stones are remarkably powerful, enabling untrained users to restore magical energy to any number of enchanted items. Very little is actually known about Aetherius, as travel to the immortal plane is extremely rare. During the Merethic era, a mythical order of Aldmeri explorers known as the Sunbirds of Alinor were said to have pierced the veil between Mundus and Aetherius using magic. Their expeditions to Aetherius are said to be among the most famous attempts in history. It is a cosmic irony that the order was eventually dissolved because of the untenable expenditures of magicka. Devout mortals of Tamriel have built shrines to their divines at sites that have been recognized as holy and sanctified. Many of these sites were chosen due to specific miracles or blessed events that marked them. Many priesthoods believe that way shrines act as direct conduits to Aetherius, and that when a mortal dies, his or her soul is drawn to the nearest way shrine, where it meets its spiritual escort, who leads the soul to the afterlife. Throughout the wilderness of Tamriel lie various types of standing stones. These stones of power are often attuned to the heavens. Strong ethereal currents travel from the stars into the stone and radiate outward. The origins of these stones are a mystery for the most part, but they have been known to grant great power to those deemed worthy enough. For centuries, the people of Tamriel have been singing to Aetherius, weaving songs so beautiful that stars are compelled to dance and sway. Aetherius is heaven, and for many, the promise of endless joy is too good to ignore. Daggerfall, Skyrim, and ESO are the only games that have let us explore planes in Aetherius. In Daggerfall, Nulfaga transports you to the realm of Aetherius, where the Mantella is hidden. Mantella was a giant soul gem, which served as the power source of Numidium, a gigantic golem used by Tiber Septim during his conquest of Tamriel. In Skyrim, you use Alduin's portal to enter Sovngarde, where you defeat Alduin, the World Eater, the immensely powerful dragon. In ESO, you travel to Far Shores in the Daggerfall Covenant questline, and Sovngarde in the Ebonheart Pact. The concept of a soul leaving Nirn and entering Aetherius is very similar to concepts of afterlife and an astral world in Hinduism and Buddhism. If you die, you go to your afterlife, thus escaping the suffering of mortality. Gurnelin is a wood elf spinner and priest who can be found in Elden Root, a city in Valenwood. She talks to you about Aetherius.
The sun and stars are holes pierced in the wall of night by Magnus and other spirits seeking to escape Nirn. These holes permit Aetherius's light to enter our world. From theirs to ours does magic trickle.
There is a book titled The Talos Mistake, which can be found when playing Skyrim. I thought there was an interesting paragraph that contemplates how everyone in Tamriel can aspire to achieve divinity.
But when Tiber Septim passed to Aetherius, there came to be a ninth divine, Talos, also called Izmir, the dragon of the north. The man who was so loved in life became worshipped in death. Indeed, it can be argued that Talos, the ninth divine, became even more important than the 8 that had preceded him, at least to humans. For he was a god who was once just a man, and through great deeds actually managed to ascend to godhood. And if one human could achieve such a feat, couldn't it be done again? Couldn't all humans aspire to achieve divinity?
That was a discussion on Aetherius, the creative force that has been informing and sustaining all life in Tamriel for centuries.